to the Sober Experiment. I'm Alex, I'm one half of the Sober Experiment.
And I'm Lisa, the other half. So this is our very first podcast and we're going right back to the beginning. I'm going to ask you first, I think. So what's your first memory of alcohol, Alex?
In terms of memory, I don't know, because I grew up in like pubs, so I don't ever remember it not being there. Stop having a laugh. I don't remember it not being there, but what I can tell you is, I know my mum drank a yard of ale when she was pregnant with me.
Did she really?
Yeah, but you've got to think about the time, haven't you? Because it was back really when doctors and nurses were prescribing Guinness in pregnancy and telling people that it was good for them. So yeah, she stood on a chair apparently and downed a yard of ale. So I know that I've been exposed to it in the womb.
You have?
I know that when I was about 3, I got pissed with my sister.
Oh my God.
From half a bottle of red wine that was left on the fireplace. My mum came upstairs and she said that it was all over the carpet, all over our clothes, and we spent the night vomiting. But you know, like, even when you think of that, she put us to bed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and we probably had a real bad hangover, but...
And that is so young, 3, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think...
I can imagine able now.
No, I know. Mind you know what, Leah, my middle one, she was at a party, and it's always my mum actually when I think about it, but Leah wanted a glass of water at the family party, and my mum handed her a vodka, and she had a drink of that, and she was about 5.
And she didn't realise, obviously.
Oh, no, it was on the table, and she just passed it to her. And she went, oh, it's horrible, and that was that. But I think we all can relate to that, oh, it's horrible for the first experience.
Yeah, but, definitely.
Yeah, I don't really remember my very, very first exposure, because the first place I went when I came out of hospital was to my nan and granddad's pub, sat on the bar in my carry seat.
Yeah.
And it's never not been there for me, so, don't know. What about you?
I've been thinking about this actually. I think my first memory is a little bit like yours. I was always brought up around drink. My grandma and granddad had pubs when I was really little, from both sides of my family as well. But my earliest memory, I think, is when I was about 5 or 6 and my mum was having a party. She weren't always having parties, that sounds like, but you know, she was quite a host and we prided ourselves on being good hosts. So she had like a lot of people around. She used to work in this bar restaurant and she had people around. And I remember chopping up all the fruit because she was making a big punch for everybody. And being dead excited that we was making this punch. So even looking back, it was like exciting. I couldn't have it, but I was a part of it because I was helping cut up all the fruit for this punch. And then I got to serve it with my friend Carla. Oh, yeah. And we had to send Carla home, take her home because we'd been sipping the punch as we'd been serving it. And she got really drunk.
It's not really that funny, is it?
No, it isn't, but my mum had to go home and like explain and say, oh, I'm really sorry, you know, they've been sneaking the punch. But looking back now, we're watching all these adults at a garden party drinking and thinking that is what made it fun for them. It was like a really grown-up thing to do. So, yeah,
I think
that's like my earliest memory.
Don't you? I think kids think that anyway.
I think they do. I think it's like we're conditioned to thinking that alcohol is all right and it's something to look forward to. Like when I was turning 18, all that anybody spoke about was you can legally drink now. Yeah, that was it. Nobody else spoke about anything else that you can do. So it's like you spend your whole life working up to being 18 so you can legally drink, even though you do it. Well, most people do it before. We did it before.
We definitely did it before. What? So do you remember what your first drink was, your first legal drink, Lisa?
My first legal drink? Yeah. Gosh, no. I drank illegally for so long that I know that I liked Bacardi really early on from having the pub, and people used to be quite surprised because it was classed as an older drink, a grown-up drink, but not legal. I remember I don't remember do you?
Yeah. On my 18th birthday, my mum and dad took me to the Waterside, what it is now, actually. Yeah. But obviously it was the railway then. And the landlord there, was called Eric, and his wife Norma. They were lovely, and we spent a lot of time with them because obviously that's where I'd grown up, and then my mum and dad got on with them really well. So we went back, and I remember Eric saying, "I'm going to get you your first legal drink," and it was your first legal drink. Yeah. You know? And
It's like a privilege, isn't it, for people to buy you that first drink?
Yeah.
Like, dads take out the sons for the first legal pint. Yeah. It's like really, it's exciting, isn't it?
Mine was a Cinzano one.
Oh my God.
Can you ever imagine me drinking Cinzano? It was, it was Cinzano, and I didn't like it. No. I really did not like it. And I'd had alcohol, well, you know, I'd had alcohol way before then. Yeah. But I don't know. I really didn't like the taste of the one that they got me. I'd been used to drinking 2020 on the streets.
Oh, gosh, and White Lightning.
Blastaways, which were, what were
that was a Castaway, the small Castaway.
And Diamond White.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that was quite posh, that Diamond White.
I don't think that was
where I came from.
So, all right, let's move on to first time you remember being drunk, because I think we've established I was the first to get drunk.
Yeah, definitely. At 3, definitely.
No, I was fetal.
Yeah, you was fetal. You know what though? That's just reminded me quickly of a time that I remember getting drunk, and I was really only young again, about 6 or 7, and it was absolutely accidental. I was on holiday with my mum and my stepdad in Mallorca. And my mum she weren't allowed to carry back so much alcohol, so she'd bought like a bottle of Malibu, which is really weird because I can't imagine her ever drinking Malibu. But she'd poured it out of a bottle, and it was next to a can of 7-Up in the bedroom. So I was like really thirsty from being out in the heat, drank it, and then just woke up the next day. But I remember my mum and my stepdad like going, oh my God. I remember hearing them in the background saying, oh my God, she must have drunk that. So being aware, like, but not aware, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is
Sorry, that digressed though, so what was the question?
First time you remember being drunk. I guess where I'm going to now is more of a teenager type thing.
Oh...
With me?
I think it was with you. Every first I think I did with you, actually.
Yeah.
I don't fully remember the first time of getting... I remember the feeling of knowing, like, having a drink and thinking, oh my God, this is actually brilliant. I'm so confident and I'm funny. And I think, honestly, looking back, I don't remember the first time, but I remember as a teenager thinking, this is brilliant. This is who I am.
Right.
I do actually remember thinking that.
It's weird because I don't ever remember you not being funny or confident of it. You know, like we talk about...
I was drunk.
No, but we talk about this a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Closed doors. You know, we talk about the fact that we used to have a time before we ever got drunk together, and we were really great friends, and you know, now we've got this time where we don't ever have a drink together and we're really great friends, and there's never a lack of things to talk about. But I genuinely do not remember you ever not being funny or not having confidence in a social situation, but it is something you talk about.
Definitely. I think looking back, I was always so nervous of meeting new people and being in social settings. And it's not something I've figured out until I've stopped drinking, that I definitely used alcohol as a social lubricant. And I know I mentioned to you the other week I went to the Happy Place Festival.
Yeah.
And gosh, I'm now 40, but I was 39 then. In my 39 years, I remember feeling like, oh my God, I actually feel like I fit in. And I think that's what made me realise how much I had used drink to fit in with people. Like looking back, all the people that I used to go and get drunk with and stuff, they're not real... I hope none of them are listening. But they're not really people that I would hang around with or have a sober conversation with. I remember thinking, God, I get on with you so well.
Yeah.
But then would have no idea what to say to them in a sober situation.
No, I think we've all got people like that though. I definitely have. But yeah, I mean, I've even found that some of my family members, especially as I've got older, those ones that I've met up on occasions, when we meet sober, it's like, hiya. Alright, so we're... sunny, innit? But it's true. It's true. It's weird, isn't it?
It is really weird.
So let's go then to first night out.
As in first night out. What's your first night out?
Mine was
first for this one.
I was 13.
Yeah.
And which is shocking really when I think. It really is, because when I look at my own daughter who's 12, there's no way she'd get in a pub. And I went out with my other friend Kelly. So she'd been 12.
Yeah, wow.
And we got dressed up. We went into the town centre and we went to this club that was called Oz. And basically Oz was for... we won't go into what Oz was for. But anyway, you certainly weren't going in there before 1:30 in the morning. Nobody was.
Can we go in a little bit to... What is it? I've never even heard of it.
Oh, it's just a sticky floor trash club. It really is. It is. And the doorman, right, which was really weird. And I remember it feeling dead grown up and going to the doorman and saying, can we come in? And it was like 10 o'clock at night. And I don't know how we were still out. We must have snuck out or something because we must have done. I can't really remember. But he let us in, and I remember we thought he must have thought we were older.
Yeah.
But in reality, I bet they were just glad to get someone through the door before 1:30 in the morning, and they didn't care that we were kids.
It's bad, isn't it?
It's really bad, really bad. So that's my first night out. I don't remember my first legal one because there was just too many blurry bits in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. I think my first night out, weirdly, was like the same time about as yours. I was 13 and I went out with my friend called Zoe, do you remember?
I don't remember really, yeah.
And my mum and my stepdad at the time actually dropped us off outside the Flying Horse and kind of built our confidence up. It was like, right, go in, just act like you know what you're talking about. Because basically behind it, my mum had said she'd rather me go out into pubs than to be drinking on the streets because there was a safer place. Well, it wasn't really. I remember going into the Flying Horse and going, right, I feel like that sounds grown up, like, you know. Yeah. So we'd gone in and I remember specifically going up to the bar and saying, can I have 2 half lagers, please? And them giving it to us and trying to not look like really excited that we'd got it. We sat down and this shows how young we were. We had a full made-up conversation about our houses just me and Zoe.
With each other.
We just actually like had this full made-up conversation that we was like, oh, so what did you have for your tea? And just about our houses as if we lived on our own.
Probably if anyone overheard you.
And I think that's exactly what it was for. And then we moved on and we ended up actually getting followed by a couple of older men that night into... Well, looking back, like we didn't think it was, but we went to a few pubs that night and then my mum and Terry picked us up later on and we went home and we were like, yeah, that was really cool. Thought we were dead grown up.
It just shows, doesn't it, how times change, because I was talking to my husband, Sam, the other day. Yeah, it's just for everyone else, just call Sam. And it's just so different. There's no way that, certainly I wouldn't, and I know you wouldn't, actually drop your kids off at 12 and 13 years old and encourage them to go and buy a drink or even go in a bar.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You know, but this now, you know, I think much further ahead is like smoking and stuff like that. And I was saying to Sam the other day, you know, I remember my mum and dad being very, very drunk around me in my teenage years. They might be having a sleep on the sofa or just whatever. Oh, that was rude. And yeah, so they were having a sleep on the sofa and, you know, and literally having cigarette ash dropped in my hair. Well, there's no way anyone would smoke around the kids now.
No, they wouldn't.
So, like, but time's moving on, isn't it?
Yeah, I think...
Even with drinking.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I guess the last bit is about our negative experiences. Have you got... That was a prompt that Lisa doesn't want to talk about her negative experiences. If you heard a clunk in the background,
it was going to be a nice thing.
Yeah, meant to be a nice thing, but she's got a cup on her rug, so it was never going to work. Go on, you first.
Oh,
it
no.
Can that be your worst one? Just, you know, like any negative experience.
Like in my entire life, because there is a lot.
Yeah, just pick one that's not too offensive.
Oh gosh, I'm going to go back to teenage years. I think I'm going to go back to, and really every time I drank there was a negative experience. Looking back when I was younger, I was quite an attention seeker when I was drunk, and I really liked male attention in particular. It made me really flirtatious, so I got myself into quite a few experiences that I shouldn't have done, maybe snogging people and absolutely regretting it the next day. And I've done that from being young to quite old, really.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any one-off negative experience right now, to be honest. What's yours?
Mine's at Abby's 18th. Do you remember Abby?
Abby?
Morris.
Oh, yeah.
Her 18th. And I was there with my then boyfriend. and I don't fully remember it again, and unfortunately I don't fully remember anything from those days, but we'd been upstairs dancing, and all of a sudden I went, and I, for years, and I'm talking up until I stopped drinking, I was convinced I'd been spiked. Mm-hmm. Convinced I'd been spiked, but looking back, I just drank too much, and I was outside, and I was bent over a wall being sick, and I remember some lads shouting, "We can see your ass." They couldn't, but the humiliation of it. And I was just vomiting. But you know what? I've always been a vomiter.
We've had a lot of vomiting experience. Yeah. We'll talk about them more on another one.
I've heard a nickname, the gnome. Through being a vomiter, we will tell you about that another time.
Are you relieved though now that you don't have to do that anymore? And you don't. Yeah. I am.
I mean, I've got to say, I think the impression when you're drinking is that you can't see a future without drinking.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And when you're here, you look back and think, oh my God, why did I ever see a future without drinking? You know
I can't believe it. And I think looking back when we speak about right from the beginning, that how early alcohol was introduced to us, it's no wonder we couldn't see a future without drinking it. Like, I used to feel sorry for people that were as alcoholics. I'd think, oh my God, how awful, they can't handle the drink, so they've got to stop forever and they can't just go out on the odd night. And I genuinely felt really sorry for alcoholics. Unbeknown to me, you know, eventually it would take hold of me as well.
Yeah, and I think we've got to be, you know, make everyone aware as well, that word alcoholic, there's such a stigma attached to it.
Well, there is. I'm still not really comfortable with that at all. Like, I would never say I was an alcoholic. So I get why there's a stigma around it, and something I'd love to do is be a part of helping getting rid of that stigma. Because
they've removed it in America. I don't know if it's true here, but there's no alcoholics anymore because it's the only drug where we say it's the person that is the problem and not the drug. Alcoholic, you don't say like tobaccoholic, do you? Or
no, that's true. No.
So it has been removed. They've got some sort of scale now, which we'll talk about another time.
I get what you mean. So they're blaming the person rather than the actual. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but it is alcohol is proven to be the second most addictive drug known after heroin. And if everybody really were brought up knowing that, would you ever put that poison in your body? Would you ever have gone through those things that we went through?
No, you wouldn't.
And you certainly wouldn't be putting it in your kids' bodies or in your unborn babies' bodies, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
You know, and I'm guilty myself. I've had sips of wine. I've had glasses of wine when I was pregnant.
Yeah, I did.
Not to excess. I
got told that to have Guinness, because when I was pregnant with Bethany, I lived in a pub at that point. I was looking after it for my mum. And everybody who came in was like, oh, get half a Guinness, it's fine, it's good for you, it's good for the baby.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying about why my mum probably drank it.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the belief then, and that was the culture. So, anyway, full circle, back round to my mum again, so... I think we're done, aren't we?
We are done. So...
Next time.
We've been so scared about to end this podcast. You could just go on talking absolute riddles for ages.
We do have to just put this in context as to why you can hear the odd bit of laughter is we are sat on a beanbag with a lion, a giant lion behind us, both of us with loads of mascara around our eyes from where we've been laughing at absolutely nothing whatsoever. So anyway, we are done.
We are done.
And next time, which I think we're going to be doing it in about a month.
Yeah, we are.
And we'll let you know. We'll be talking about our very last hangovers. Yeah?
And more disgusting things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, much more. So see you again.
See ya.
Bye.